Friday, you guys took your Alabama history test, but like Miss Sasser said, we're going to pause from that and do a science lesson. When you guys were doing science about 4 weeks ago, can someone raise their hand and tell me what you guys left off on? Brock. What were you learning about?
We were learning about lights.
Lights. What?
Light and electricity.
Electricity. What else, Cooper?
Types of energy.
Types of energy, exactly. Sarah Kate, what are you going to add?
We can make a light flow.
Right, so talking about energy flow, right? So how does energy get from one place to the next? It travels in what? Sadie, what are you thinking?
Conduction.
Conduction is the way it travels, that's right. There's a specific word in science that it travels in waves. So today we're going to be talking all about waves, because that's the next unit. What are some different kind of waves that you guys know? Raise your hand and you tell me one. Zay. It can be any kind of wave. It can be any kind of wave you can think of. Luke.
A wave at the beach.
A wave at the beach, yeah, like in the ocean, that's a wave. Jaden.
A heat wave.
A heat wave, that's awesome. Brock.
A wave.
A wave, like you wave to somebody, that's a wave. Sarah Beth.
Like, so, when I do a cheer competition,
Yes, you all kind of do the wave. Or maybe that makes me think, I'm thinking of a wave at a sports game. Sarah Kate.
I think the wave is,
You forgot, that's okay. Eric.
sound wave.
A sound wave, yes. I'm going to take two more. Zadie. Zay.
Okay, the wave at the spray season at a soccer or football game, everybody stands up and it goes along.
Yeah, okay, wait, let's try and do that. Okay, ready? So, we're going to start on this end, and if you've seen that before, where you start over here, and so this side will stand up, then the middle will stand up, and we'll go across. Are you guys ready? Let's try and do that kind of wave. It's okay, we've got Una and Liam. They'll be able to fill us. Ready? We're going to start over here. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Go up, 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 up. Woo! Okay, so that was a wave. Don't do that. All right, let's take one. I said I would take one more hand. It's inappropriate. Please don't. Sadie, what was one more wave you want to add?
Like in curly hair, it's like wavy.
That's a good one, in your hair, like a wave. Okay, now all these different types of waves can be classified into two groups. In science, we have two different kinds of waves. In one, we call it transversal waves, and the other we call them longitudinal waves. Raise your hand if you've ever heard those science terms before, maybe in 3rd grade or another place. It's okay if you haven't. Okay, so I want to talk about what the two different kinds of waves are. So I'm going to write it up here so you can see it spelled out. Okay, so first, our transversal wave is when a wave in like the ocean, the first one we thought of, when something travels in a wave, it has a medium, which means something that it travels through. So when we're talking about our electromagnetic energy in our circuit, the medium would be the wires, how the energy travels. So in the ocean, a wave, the medium is the water that it travels through. If we're doing the wave like we did in our sports game, the medium is you. You're the one that's transferring the energy across. So in a transversal wave, the energy is going up and down, although it's going forward. So it's going perpendicular. Have you ever heard the word perpendicular? So it's like this. So I'm going to draw it up here. So if we have our wave that's flowing in this direction, so as if our waves are flowing that way, the energy in a transversal wave goes up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. Okay, so that's our first type of wave, transversal. Give me just 1 second for our questions. Let me tell you our second kind of wave. Our second kind of wave is a longitudinal wave. longitudinal wave is going to run, the energy is going to run parallel. What is parallel? Tim, what are you thinking? Good idea, like diagonal. Not quite diagonal, try again. Maybe someone could mimic it with their hands, what parallel looks like. Sarah Kate.
So you know in parallel.
Mm-hmm.
My teacher taught us last year that a parallel thing, like a parallelogram, they have lines like this,
Mm-hmm.
and the L's move like L's like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what our teacher taught me.
Yeah, so the two lines like this.
don't connect.
So, Sarah Beth, did you want to add something?
Parallel lines are like lines that are straight, like they don't move or anything exactly straight.
And they're going in the same direction, right? So we have, so this would be parallel. So if we're looking at a longitudinal wave, if I could draw something like this, that's my wave. And so say my wave is flowing this direction.
That's not two lines though.
So that's supposed to be like, say, like a slinky, okay? Say we had a slinky, and we had the wave, it means it goes parallel to it. So now I'm going to use my red and draw my energy flow is going to go that way too. This one,
Slinky, we're like stretching it out, or
this one's a little bit harder to see.
are you doing the slinky like stretching it out like this, or just doing where you flip it like this?
Rob, will you go to the back for me and grab the rainbow slinky? We can give a little demonstration.
It's in the cabinet.
It's right there.
So Brock's got it.
Slinky.
I don't know what
Give me got silver slinky.
All right, let's bring it up front.
Do you mean like this, or like
Well, let's explore it. So, will you stand up here and demonstrate with me, Brock? So, what's the first way? Tell me one way you were thinking we could do it. So, like this. Which one do you think, if the waves are like this, so they're going parallel back and forth, do you guys think this would be longitudinal?
Yes.
Or transversal? Give me a thumbs up if you think it's transversal, and then I want you to put your thumbs down like this if you think it's longitudinal. So let's do it again, Brock. Alright, so thumbs up top for transversal, thumbs on the bottom for longitudinal. Alright, so I'm seeing mostly longitudinal, and you got it right. Thank you, Brock. Now, can I have somebody come up and help me demonstrate what it would look like for a transversal wave with my slinky, Cooper? Ooh. So how is this transversal, Cooper?
Because the line shows it's like going up and down.
Yeah, so
And that is going up and down.
exactly.
And the arrow shows it's going up and down.
So will you pause yours, and I'm going to make our wave this time, ready? So I'm going to start it over here, and it goes, could you guys kind of see the wave, how it's traveling from Miss Cantor to Cooper, but it's going up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Cooper.
We need a rope.
All right, so now just to make sure we all are understanding what our transversal and our longitudinal is, we're going to watch a really short video of someone else explaining.
It's mixed in the
Thank you.
Waves. One of the first things we need to know about waves is there are two different types of waves. One, shown here, by waves in the sea, and the other one shown by sound waves. So how are they different? Well, first let's look at the sea waves. If we look at them represented with this slinky, we see that the
Do we think this is transversal or longitudinal? You can yell it out.
vibrations are at 90 degrees or perpendicular to the direction of travel of the wave. These are called transverse waves, and examples of them are waves in water, waves on a string, or light waves. Now let's look at the sound waves again. Again, we see them represented by the slinky, and this time the direction of vibration is parallel to the...
So what would this wave be called? You can yell it out. Longitudinal, you got it.
the direction of travel. These are called longitudinal waves, and the only example you really need to remember is sound. One really important thing to remember about waves is they only transfer energy from place to place, not any matter. And we can see that here by looking at a lovely rubber duck sat in a bath. As a wave goes through, the duck bobs up and down, but once the wave's gone, he's back to his original position. The wave has carried energy through, but it did not carry the duck with it.
So if I were to talk about the medium that the wave is traveling through, can someone raise their hand and tell me what the medium this wave is traveling through? Luke.
Like you said with the duck, doesn't move with the energy, it stays in its position, just it goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
So would the duck be the medium?
The duck would be.
So actually the duck wouldn't be the medium for this one.
It doesn't travel with it.
Right, exactly. So do you have another idea, Eric? What was it? The water would be the medium because like you said in the video, Luke, it's only gonna transfer energy, not transfer the object. So say with the medium that the energy is transferring through, that would be like the slinky or the water, which isn't actually moving anything, it's just the energy is traveling through. Yes, Eric?
What if it did move with a big beach wave? You think it would move?
Well, like you're seeing in this video, it's not actually the wave that's moving it would be due to other forces. All right, let's keep watching this. It's going to tell us about wavelength.
Finally, we need to know some key features of waves. First off, wavelength. A wavelength is the length of the full cycle of a wave, from one point to the next same point.
Okay, so that's something, hold on, we missed it, that is also important for us to know. Will you flick the lights back on, Jaden, for me? That a wavelength is from one point to the next same point. So when we're looking at a slinky or the ocean, the wavelength is to go top to top, or you can measure bottom to bottom, but you gotta look at the same points. Okay, so next what we're going to get to do is you guys are going to get to practice making some transversal and longitudinal waves. So what we're going to do is we're kind of going to break it up like a rotation. So everyone is going to be working with a partner, which you are going to get to pick through your nonverbal communication. I will go down our list and pick. And so here's your options of what you're going to be using in your rotation. In the back, we have slinkies, we have jump ropes, and we have dominoes. Okay? So, what your job is to do is you are only going to have the opportunity with your partner to use one of these items, okay? So I know they're all super fun, but we only have a couple of each. But the good news is, when you guys start science again in a couple of weeks, we'll get to bring out the items again. And so say you really wanted to use the slinky, but you didn't get to today, you will in a couple of weeks. So I only have 4 slinkies, 4 jump ropes, and then 5 sets of dominoes. So when I call you guys, I'm going to be marking off which ones is used. So when I call your name, I would say, this is pretend, rock. And then you would say what you want to use. And so I'm going to mark off when you use the slinkies. And when 4 people have said dominoes or jump rope or slinky, that's no longer an option anymore, okay? And we're just going to have to be good sports and say, okay, next time we'll go with it.
Can we work by ourselves?
Now let me tell you what you're going to be doing with them. So you're going to be making either transversal or longitudinal waves. And you're going to be using your Padlet, your seesaw, to create these videos and share them. Since you only get to do one of the materials, that means we get to watch somebody else use the other one. So you might not get to use the jump rope to make the wave, but we're going to watch your classmate make the wave with the jump rope. And then we'll get to watch them at the end. And now when you post to your Padlet, to your seesaw, I don't want you to say anything in your video recording. I just want you to label it with your name, what kind of wave you made, and the material you're using. So, if I were to make my video in 10 Timma was my partner, we're just gonna pretend, Timma, will you hold this? She would be recording it. I would have this, and I'm just gonna stand in front and I'm gonna show. And that's it. And then when I post it, I would say, Miss Kantor and Timma. And I would say, transversal wave, slinky. I would type these out. So you're not telling us in the video. You're not gonna say, hey, I'm Miss Kantor and I'm going crazy. You're gonna just type out what you're doing, okay?
Can we choose which one we can do, or you can just
Okay, so questions. Sarah Kate, thanks for raising your hand.
So can you call us by your name?
Mm-hmm.
So if we answer the part if I got called first, would she have to say one of the options, or would she go with me?
So what's gonna happen, I'll say your name, and whoever I pick first and the partner, that's the person that's gonna choose what object you're using. And if you don't agree with it, it's just whatever the first person chose, okay? So if I said Sarah Kate first and you chose it and that's not what Sarah Beth was thinking, we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna go with it, and you're gonna take your iPads, you can post your video, that's all you're gonna need. Is so when I call your name, you'll say, with a partner, and tell me which medium you're gonna use to show your energy waves. Did you have another question, Sarah Kate?
Yeah, and Austin, do you just like the plus sign is like a video? Is it the video of it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then you'll label it with you and your partner's name, what kind of wave, and the medium. Yes, Brock?
If you do longitudinal,
Mm-hmm.
and if you do it the rope, will it work? Because whenever you and your partner are holding it, whenever you do this,
Mm-hmm.
it just stays the same. It doesn't do it.
Okay, that is a super good question. So, we know we showed how the slinky can do this, right? But for the dominoes can only make one of the waves, and the jump rope can only make one of the waves. So don't tell us which one it is. That's for you to discover with the material that you get. Okay? So the jump rope can only do one of the waves. So there's a right and wrong answer. And the dominoes can only do one of the waves. And you have to figure out which one it is. Liam?
Can I work by myself?
No, there are not enough materials to work by yourself. Okay, so before we break out into our rotation, can somebody raise your hand? And since we haven't done science in a while, what would our expectations be for a time like this when we have all these materials out, so many different groups, we're posting videos? What should it be like, Timma? What is using items of privilege? What would that mean for this, you think? Right. Don't break it, don't be messing it up. We're using the slinky to make waves. Or with the jump rope, we're not jumping rope, we're making waves. Zay, what's something else?
Not get distracted, but don't type what you're not supposed to type.
Right, you got it. So we said, what are the 3 things that we're supposed to type today?
Your partner's name,
Mm-hmm.
your what type of wave you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
what are you using.
Exactly, you got it. Those are the 3 things you're supposed to type. What are some other expectations, Jaden? Partner voice, yeah, especially when we're posting videos. We've seen how when we post them, sometimes it's so loud in the room you don't know what's going on. So using that partner voice. Luke, what else?
Kind of collaborate, like Brock's my partner,
Mhm.
say Brock picked first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say Brock picks dominoes,
Mhm.
like just listen with dominoes, like just do dominoes and say, well, I wanted to have slinky, or well, I wanted to have jumper.
Exactly, that wouldn't be a good use of your time. So he's saying if your partner picks something that you didn't want, then you're just gonna have to be okay with it and keep going. Sadie, last one. Any other expectations
Non-verbal communication.
for your partner? Exactly, because everyone's doing a partner because we don't have enough materials to work by ourselves. That's a good one. All right. So I'm gonna go down the line and start calling. You'll go to tell me with somebody, and then tell me what material that you decided you and your partner are going to use. Now I don't have, Miss Sasser, do you have the clipboard over there with the list of names? I just have to go in order. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna start with Melody. So you can go find your successful spot. Cooper.
Dominoes.
Jeffrey.
Slinky.
Haley. Olivia. Weston. Brock. Sarah Kate. Okay, so there's no more slinkies. We're jump rope and dominoes only. Una. Stephanie. Luke.
With someone.
Anna. Oh, Sarah Beth.
Slinky with someone.
Liam.
But, Domino's,
Ashton. Oh, Eric. Sadie.
with someone.
Timma. Okay. Jaden. Rush. Riley. Zay. Andrew. And Lauren. Awesome. We're not using that round I think be creative.
Build a robot? I was thinking build a bridge and then put one domino. I was thinking a circle. Yeah. Make a circle and then the other.
Which one do you think it would make? You think it would make the transversal or a longitudinal? Let's see it. That sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, because I've done it before. You make it flat down. Wait, no, we're not done yet. Will it actually can be
What do you guys think for your dominoes?
Like stacking them and then when they I'm just like pushing them. I'm pretty sure it was like a
You guys have a similar idea, but Andrew's doing his side. What kind of weight do you think this would be? What do you think it would be a trans? Right, that's running parallel, then you're going to traveling parallel to the medium. What were you thinking, Andrew?
I'll take a green one.
You're going to set your iPad in front? Sure, if you would like to.
I never did this before.
I stopped it.
So first year, okay, I'm gonna try.
down here.
I don't want to start yet. No, turn on. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Which one are you thinking you're gonna do?
Shield. I only got 4. No.
I'm gonna do the transfer. Are you gonna make it look like a transfer? See, you can try and make it look like waves.
Hopefully we'll both get the same thing. Stop humming the tune. I like it, but it's
You
just.
gotta keep trying, you can do it. Okay, you can.
Because I like it. I think I should have done it. So push it down.
They didn't even get that. Yeah, it's on seesaw.
Wait, how are we supposed to write?
You'll post it as like the caption on it.
I think we have to start over again. Sorry. So close. Yeah, the video going. Oh my God. Oh, we have to do that again. You have the video. You have steady hands. Question mark. I like which one is that? Question mark. Which one it is? Question mark. We were doing an L, then I just
Got a new idea. That is creative. What kind of wave do you guys think it's gonna be?
That's the great. It doesn't even shoot. Dang it. You can't go back. Okay, we're ready.
So we said, yeah, right, the longitudinal goes parallel, the transversal goes up and down, but does this go up and down? So before you guys post it, I want us to think a little more about what kind of wave it is. So you said you're thinking it's not longitudinal because what? Right. Okay, I totally see what you guys are thinking. But remember with the longitudinal, it just means that it flows in the same direction. Transversal, it means it has to go perpendicular, so up and down. So, see why you think it's not longitudinal. And so, for the transversal, you have to see your energy go up and down. Do it again.
That was cool because it went fast.
It did go back. But the longitudinal, you need to see that flow up and down. And with the dominoes, I don't see a flow up and down. When it just did that, it kind of all went this way and went in one direction. So even, I hear what you guys are saying with the longitudinal, that's not going to go back and forth. But actually to be longitudinal doesn't have to go back and forth. It just means that it goes in the same direction. So I want to change you guys thinking a little bit about which wave it's actually going to be.
So it's a longitudinal.
Right, but do you see why it would be a longitudinal? Because it doesn't, longitudinal doesn't necessarily mean it goes back and forth. It just means that it travels parallel. So that means the energy is going this way and the wave is going that way. And transversal has to go up and down.
Oh, there's not going up.
Right, there's nothing going up. So like in that slinky, it's going up and down, or in the jump rope, it goes up and down. Right, exactly. So this is parallel. Does that make sense to you, Rod?
Or,
Seesaw.
which one? Oh, no.
Just to the journal. Oh, do we need a new code?
Oh, it's all the way. she got it.
We'll get you what the code is. Yeah. Did you post it with your? Okay. Give us 1 second. I'm about to ring the chime, so you'll be able to start cleaning up. You're done. You're good.
No, we have to make a video.
Yes, it'll be perfect timing.
No, Miss Kate, please do not.
Will you? Luke, what was the code so I can put it up here? Oh, so you got it on there.
Video where like we can say we have our look, go. Perfect.
You may post your video if you have not, and then start cleaning up quickly so we can go ahead and watch each other. Does anyone want theirs to be shown and they think they had a great video example? Okay. Zay, what was your material that you were using?
We forgot.
You didn't upload it?
We uploaded, but we forgot to put the.
Okay, so we have Zay and Liam, and what kind of wave did you guys make?
Well, I get two. It's only one.
Let's watch it again. So why was it a longitudinal wave?
Because it went straight.
Yeah, it went parallel right across it. There was no transversal up and down. You got it. That was a really good video. So those of you who didn't have dominoes, let's watch another domino. I'm gonna show them all, okay? I was asking if somebody wanted to go first. Let's see this one. So here we have Yuna and Lauren. And what did you guys use?
Dominoes.
To make what kind of wave?
That
Transversal, you got it. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. we're going to play yours next now because you said that. I just told that it was, I'm going to show them all. If you have a question that's not asking me to play yours next. Okay, what's your question?
So I saw that whenever Una and them did theirs, it didn't go like how it's supposed to, like whenever all the dominoes are supposed to fall, it did it like a couple dominoes. So like it started right here, you pushed it and then it was like this long, but it stopped like right here and then every domino right there fell. It's like side instead of going like forward, like how Coopers and everybody else
Right.
did, it went to the
So
side.
the energy maybe kind of spread out to the side.
It's because whenever they pushed it, and I got about to about right here, all these ones right here were going straight and then it's like all these ones right here fell.
That is true, that did happen, but it still went forward, and our dominoes still went in this direction, so it would still be considered a bunch. But that is a good
It
observation.
spread out like that.
Let's see, here we're going to have, will you tell us about this since you forgot to put the caption? It's okay.
We thought it was longitudinal. And what we did, it was like we dominoes and we.
Who was your partner?
Eric.
Okay, awesome. Let's see it.
Looks like
There we go.
The same thing
That was
happened.
awesome. Alright, now we're going to watch some of the slinkies. Yes, what's your question, Luke? Thanks for reading. Oh, I didn't load up there yet. You may go on your iPad and fix that. Oh, it's still thinking. Okay.
That's the thing that happened to Cooper's too. It like spread out to the side.
Alright, let's watch some slinky videos for those of you that didn't get to use the slinky. So who do we have? Sarah Kate, will you tell us about this one?
That was medium.
Me and Sarah did it, and we did the universal way, and it was medium.
What was the medium? What was the item you were using that transferred the energy?
We were using the slinky.
A slinky. Okay, let's see it.
That's medium.
Awesome. So how was that a transversal wave, ladies? Either Sarah Beth or Sarah Kate, what made you say that was a transversal wave?
Because it went up and down, up and down, up and down.
It goes like what? Perpendicular, right? Alright, let's watch another slinky video. Jaden, will you tell us about this one?
We did transfer. Me and Jeff, we did transverse.
Okay. With what was your medium you were using?
We were using this.
Awesome, let's see it. So he's gonna make a transversal. Awesome. So we had it going, energy traveling, and it was going up and down. Alright, let's watch. Hey, will you tell us about yours? You don't want to show yours? Okay. Did you guys use a jump?
Miss Ashley said yesterday, you all show it.
Yes,
That was not yesterday. I meant Friday.
raise your hand if you used a jump rope.
Oh, wait, what? I thought this was supposed to be full. Hold up. Dang.
Alright, can I have somebody who will volunteer to demonstrate with me how we can make the wave with the jump rope Una? Will you go to the back and grab one? There's the bag. Alright, so me and Una are gonna, that's perfect, that's good. So me and Una are gonna be partners for this one. Alright, you can go ahead, Una. Alright, so look at that wave. Raise your hand if you think you know what kind of wave out of our two options this would be. Jeffrey. Transversal. What makes you say transversal?
Because it's going up and down.
Exactly.
Do
you think, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think I can make a longitudinal wave with this?
No, you
Thumbs
have
up
to.
if you think yes.
If you just.
Thumbs down if you think no. How do you think we can make it, Zay?
You just push back and forth.
Back and forth. Well, we could kind of use
Well,
our
go
medium could
forward
be.
together and just keep.
Yeah, actually, honestly, I was thinking no, you couldn't with this, but since it's got these beads on it, that could be our medium to transfer our energy to make it run parallel. Pulling.
You guys can like push the things back.
Oops. Alright, but you can see here how we have our transversal wave as it goes up and down, and the energy is coming from Una to me, and the waves are running perpendicular. Thank you, Una. We put that in the back. Alright, let me refresh it. Did yours load, Luke?
No.
Well, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to show it since it won't load.
Can we like share it? Like show y'all in person?
Yes, I'll let me try and refresh it one more time, and if not, then
It's like on here what it process.
I'm here and what?
On there what it process. It's not gonna work on that.
okay.
Is it still loading?
You need
Is
to
that
stop
okay?
shading.
Yeah, but do this. Oh yeah, we did 2 videos.
I don't see it here, friends. This one.
We did 2
Maybe
videos.
if you go to Stephanie's name, maybe it'll show.
But did you approve it?
I'll look at it.
These are all unapproved posts, so I think it didn't upload. I'm sorry. Here, I'll double check by clicking on your name, though.
Your name, Stephanie.
Oh, here we go. Okay, let's watch this one. So, Stephanie, tell me about it first. What were you using for your idiom?
I was using a transversal wave,
Uh-huh.
and my medium was
Awesome. All right, let's watch Stephanie do hers. All right, that looks good. She made her wave go up and down with her slinky. Now, no one showed it, but we saw how the slinky could also make the longitudinal wave back and forth. Now, Brock and Luke, if we can get yours to load, then we'll show it.
Check on his name.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, check on Luke's name.
Did you put it on
In the meantime, can I get my paper patrol to pass this out, please?
It didn't do anything. It wouldn't be on my end. It didn't let me do it. So, what?
Give half.
This came, should we show ours? Like,
Brock, I don't think, unfortunately, we're going to have time. If we have time after we clean up before PE, then... But so right now, what's being passed out, you can take out a pencil, and this is what we have talked about today. So in the first box, it says, match the medium to the correct wave description. So I want you to think about the different videos you watch. The videos that you watch and maybe what you got to interact with, and you can draw a line connecting which one goes with which one. So they're each going to have one map.